Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Terrific Tools Tuesday on djsundry.blogspot.com. Today we're talking about one of the very basic tools that every paper crafter needs to some degree, and that is things to cut with. Now most of us know what scissors look like. Just a basic pair of scissors. Now these scissors I've had for a long time. These were made by E-Cake Success. These were called the Queen Bees. And just so you know, as nearly as I can tell, these are no longer being made. And they really are one of my favorite pairs of big scissors. But scissors, I hate to say that scissors are scissors. Now, if you're just starting out and you need to run to Walmart and buy one of the $2 pairs of scissors, that's great. But as you start expanding and as you start getting other scissors, there's some things I want to show you about scissors. Now, like I said, these are the Queen Bees. These are quite old. They did come with a guard, but my guards broke. Really nice and sharp, really strong blade. I wish they still made these. For whatever reason, they don't. But one thing that they do make still, and until just... well, probably still is my go-to pair of scissors, are these smaller ones. Same basic color, design. These are called the Cutter Bees. Now, these are still being made. You can find them all over the internet. Most craft stores had them. They run anywhere from $8 to $12, depending on where you go. And these are called the Cutter Bees. Now, they do have a guard that fits in here, and that's because they have this nice precision tip on it, and they're very sharp. I love these scissors. I can cut ribbon with them. I can cut a beautiful piece of paper with them. They're wonderful scissors, and these are definitely my go-to pair of scissors. They're good for getting around small, if you're trying to cut something out, you can get around small and tight corners with them. They're just a great pair of scissors. After E-Cake Success came out with these, they came out with this second type, and these are called the honeybees. Again, they have a guard on them because they are sharp, and like the Cutter Bees, they're very similar in shape. They've got a nice precision tip. But the reason they call them honey bees, when you think of honey, you think of sticky. These are specially coated with a Teflon coating, so that if you, again, they cut just very similar to these Cutter Bees, but this special coating allows you to be able to cut things that are sticky, and they won't get gummed up. And when they do start getting sticky and gummed up, they're very easy with just a moist paper towel or a baby wipe or something to clean off very easily. So I have found, however, and I don't know if mine are just getting dull or what the problem is with them. Maybe it's the Teflon coating. I can't cut ribbon as well with them, but still, it's a great pair of scissors, and these are also still available. They'll run you about $1 or $2 more per pair than the Cutter Bees, and that's just simply because of the coating on them. Now, also still available, now remember, I had a store, so I was testing scissors out. After the honeybees came out, or maybe around the same time, I'm not sure, E-Cake Success came out with another pair, and these are called the Color Bees. And they were in different colors. I wish I had a purple pair. I think I gave my only purple pair away. And these are also still being made, and they very much look like, body-wise, like the other two pair. But the difference with the Color Bees is, again, precision tip. They go very easily, but they have a titanium coating on these, and so the claim is with that they should be able to cut through things a little bit tougher to cut through, maybe like your chipboard. Now, I took a piece of chipboard here, and I really have to struggle. This is just some on my jute cord binding, and I just wanted to see what would happen. I have to struggle, but I can still do it. Let's see if this is actually easier. You know, it is, but not a lot. So I honestly don't know if it would be worth having both that would be up to you. I would probably choose one or the other. These are still available, although you don't see them as frequently in the craft stores. I've noticed as I do the honeybees and the cutter bees, but you can find them online. They're going to run you a little bit more than the cutter bees, maybe $1 or $2 more, probably more comparable to the honeybees. So, you know, honestly, I would choose, of these, I would choose one or the other, and then have a backup pair of cutter or the honeybees if that was the direction you were going to go. Now, my newest pair of scissors that I purchased, and honestly, I haven't used them enough yet to tell you if I love them more than the others. They're a little bit bigger. These are by the Tonic Studios. These are the Tim Holtz Tonic scissors. Also a guide. I notice when I look at them that they don't have quite the precision tip that these others do. So I think probably getting around really small things would be a little more difficult. It is, I don't know if the camera picks this up, but it is serrated. These are also titanium grip scissors, and so they're supposed to be able to cut through the chipboard. And you know, it's probably a little bit easier than using my other ones. They have a really nice feel. I know they look a little big and awkward, but they're really not, and they really actually have a nice feel when you're cutting with them. They just cut nicely. So that's another option that's out there. Again, I can't give you a 100% verdict on these yet because I've only used them a few times. I still think, as I do like them, but I think these would still be my go-to pair of scissors. They're just, these are years and years old. I have 2 or 3 pairs that I keep in different places around the house. My daughter has a pair. I just really highly recommend these cutter bees. So now when we move from scissors, I then want to talk about paper cutters. Now, this is an old paper cutter. It's not my original paper cutter, it's my second one. My original one was a little bit smaller. This is a 12-inch paper cutter here, 12 inches this way. And my original one was would only cut, I think, 9 or 10 inches, maybe 11 inches. So you couldn't cut a 12-inch piece of paper on it without trimming it down first. So then this was the second one, and it was an upgrade. It has a swing out arm. These, like I said, this is an old paper cutter, not one that you'll see anymore. It's made by Fiskars, but they still are making paper cutters, and they're still really good paper cutters. The one that I used the most, this was the upgrade from that one. Again, it has a free arm. This metal plate makes it a little bit easier to measure. It's got the measurements going up to 12 inches this way and then also this way, but you could cut a very large piece of paper down to size and know your measurements. You don't have to pre-mark it. And this is mine. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to replace it anytime soon because it still works. These are still, you're still able to get these at the craft stores, and so this is just what I use all the time. I borrowed one. The newest design that looks like this, and this was actually my mother-in-law's. Again, it's the same thing. I like this measurement guide a little bit better. You use the same blade, so they've kept it so that you can keep using it. Also, these are rubber, and so they grip a little bit better, so it's not sliding around as much. You just simply line up here. I want, say, it's like a 3-inch piece of paper here. That's not straight on the end. I slide it. It's a slide cutter, and it's very simple to use. At this point, I'm not willing to upgrade, but I think it's a good upgrade. These run about $20 to $25. This, again, is a 12-inch one. I think they are making an 8.5 by 11-inch one as well. Definitely something you want to use a coupon for, but definitely also something that's well worth the investment. A good slide cutter is worth its weight in gold, and I use it all the time for my paper crafting. This is a slightly different version. This one's made by Provo Craft. I was out of town and needed a paper cutter, and no one had brought one, and so I ran to the closest craft store, and this one was less expensive. I'm not sure what it comes maybe $15. It's a little bit different in design. It does have a swing arm out so that you can measure out more your larger paper. This one, rather than flipping up like the other one did, it actually flips up this way. Now, one of the advantages to both this one from Provocraft and this one from Fiskars is these are cutting blades, but you can also get scoring blades to purchase to change out, and then you can be scoring your cards on this if you don't have a scoreboard or something like this. So that is another advantage to this type of paper cutter. There's also a type of paper cutter, and I don't own one, but the only way I could describe it would be it's a guillotine, just like the old printers paper cutters. I have seen them made for paper crafters. It's not one I own, not one that I really probably would use. This one is the paper cutter that came with my Your Story. This is more of a rotary cutter, kind of based off like what quilters use, the Olfa or whatever, with a cutting mat. Same concept as far as the blade goes. You can't really see it because it's encased so that you don't hurt yourself, but it has the same type of blade in it as a rotary blade. The disadvantage for this particular paper cutter is I haven't been able to find the replacement blades, but this one does show you can use a perforated line, you can cut a wavy line, and this is just an extra straight edge line. The one thing I don't like about this one is there's no swing out arm, so I can only measure out to 7 inches wide here. One thing that I do like about it is it's really heavy duty. I use this one when I'm cutting chipboard when I'm making my books. This slides up and then it clamps down, so it provides a good grip on your paper or your chipboard. I like it for that, and then you just slide it up. I'll just show you quickly here. We'll put this piece of paper in. You clamp it down, you slide it up or down, and you have a nice piece. Because this one is so heavy duty, if I'm cutting several pieces of paper, with my Fiskars one, I can maybe cut 2 or 3 pieces of cardstock, but they might slip and be uneven. Where this one, I can cut 4 or 5 pieces of cardstock without any trouble with it slipping. But again, I don't like that I can't measure out past 7 inches. So that's not something that I like. I know that Fiskars also makes a rotary type cutter. I've used one. I don't really care for it. It's just not my preference. I prefer the slide cutters. So I would have to say, if I had to choose a favorite, and you only could get one of each, without a doubt, I would choose this Fiskars paper cutter, this newer one that they have. It's a great paper cutter. I just highly recommend it. Having this swing out arm is, which I can't swing out right now, but is wonderful. It's invaluable for when you're trying to get good measurements. And then if I had to choose one pair of scissors, I would definitely, without a doubt, choose these Cutter Bees small scissors. They're just excellent scissors, and like I said, I've used them for years. I've used the Fiskars brand paper cutter for years too. So I definitely, these would be my go-to choices for a new paper crafter. So thanks for watching and have a great day.